יושב ראש בית הנבחרים מקארתי יהיה הראשון במילניום הזה הפונה לכנסת והשני בהיסטוריה. It is my distinct honor to invite the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, the Honorable Kevin McCarthy, to the podium. Please.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Speaker Ohana, Prime Minister Netanyahu, President Herzog, Opposition Leader Lapid, Ministers of Government, members of the Knesset, my congressional colleagues, distinguished guests, and beloved friends. It is an honor to join you in the city of Jerusalem, the eternal capital of Israel. This is my very first trip overseas as a U.S. House Speaker of the Representatives. There is no place I'd rather be than right here, right now, with my dear friends, all of you. Today I speak to you not only as American congressional leader, I speak to you today as a lifelong supporter and a true friend of Israel. I am no stranger to your beautiful land. Since coming to Congress in 2007, I have traveled to Israel year after year with hundreds of my colleagues from both sides of the aisle, and today is no different. I am here today, as many times as before, with my good friend Steny Hoyer and a bipartisan group of members. If you would all stand. And I choose to come here today to celebrate the bond between our two countries and to reaffirm the bipartisan support for Israel in Congress is at the foundation for our truly special relationship. I begin with words that every person in this chamber will recognize. The land of Israel was the birthplace of the Jewish people. After being forcibly exiled from their land, the people kept faith and never ceased to pray and hope for their return to it and for the restoration of it, of their political freedom. Those inspiring words come from your Declaration of Independence. The prayers and hopes it spoke of have become a reality today. Today we celebrate the 75th anniversary of Israel. Over the past 3/4 century, your nation has faced many external threats, but Israel survives and thrives because of its values, courage, resilience, and determination. But, as your declaration reminds us, 75 years is just a blimp in the timeline of Israel. There's no other nation with your long of storied history. 3,500 years ago, Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt, through the wilderness and then back to the promised land. 3,000 years ago, David reigned as the king of Israel. And soon after, David's son, King Solomon, consecrated the first temple. That temple was destroyed, but its spirit of freedom and faith remains. We see that spirit in the state of Israel today. Israel is resilient. It is strong. Israel is innovative. Israel is blessed. Israel endures. The Lord blessed you from Zion, and may you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. Indeed, may you see your children's children. Peace be upon Israel, as David has written. It was President John F. Kennedy who said it best. Israel was not created in order to disappear. Israel will endure and flourish. It can be neither broken by adversity nor demoralized by success. Kennedy's words echo throughout this chamber today. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel's rebirth is nothing less than a modern miracle, and I thank you for it. The source of that miracle is the people of Israel. In those dark days, thousands of years ago, when the Jewish people were scattered from Israel, the prophet Isaiah predicted a brighter future to come. Inspired by God, he shared this command: arise, shine, thy light to come. My friends, today, 75 years after declaring independence, Israel's lights shine brighter than ever before. Despite the constant threat of terrorism, Israel remains a thriving democracy in the Middle East. Israel's economy once relied on rationing food and oil. Today, Israel is ranked as the fourth best performing economy among developing nations. Its market economy is dynamic, and its remarkable people are bursting with talent and ideas. Its innovative high-tech sector has rightfully earned the nickname that Israel has, the startup nation. It was Theodore Herzl, the founder of modern Zionism, who predicted, "Give us a piece of land to hold on to, and the rest we will do ourselves." Herzl was right. The story of Israel is a story of survival against the perils of war and terrorism. It's a story of pioneers fulfilling a sacred promise inspired by our commitment to freedom, to family, to faith in God. It is a story about making the deserts bloom and building a thriving, innovative economy. And it is a story of hope that continues to inspire millions around the world, especially me and my fellow Americans, regardless of our political party. The United States cherishes this unbreakable bond with Israel. I'm proud that my country recognized your country 11 minutes after it declared its independence, the first country to do so. But our special relationship is even closer. It's more personal and more powerful than we might even realize. You know, this point was driven home to me last night by a very thoughtful gift from your speaker, Ohana. It was a gift of a picture of a story I did not know, of an Israeli pilot training in the city of Bakersfield, California, where I was born, where I was raised, where I live, where I represent. There's a story behind this picture, though. More than 75 years ago, on the eve of the Israeli War of Independence, a female flight instructor and a patriot named Eleanor Rudnick organized a training program for Israeli fighter pilots at her airfield in Bakersfield, California. Now, in all, there was only 13 volunteers, including 2 women who took this grueling course. Only 3 finished. Now, technically, the program was illegal because Israel didn't exist as a modern state and America was neutral. But why? Why did these pilots do it? What compelled them to risk their lives to help reestablish the state of Israel? As we look around this room, we know the answer. We all know it. It was faith and it was freedom. Those values are worth fighting for and even dying for, and especially today. And so they took to the skies, not knowing what the future would hold, but knowing that God and million Americans were their allies in this cause. They won. Despite all odds, they won. And because they won, the state of Israel was reborn. 75 years has passed since those heroes helped secure Israel's independence. Most has only recently graduated from school. At the time, the joys and struggles of life were just ahead of them. And now, while they rest in peace, their sacrifice and legacies live on in a free and independent Israel and its special bond with the United States. You see, this picture tells us a deeper story. If we remain united, then the forces of freedom and democracy will always prevail. This is the foundation of our special relationship. We are the only two countries in history that were conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all are equal. Our values are your values. Our heritage is your heritage. Our dreams are your dreams. America is grateful for our friendship with Israel. We are a better nation because of it, and we must never shy away from defending it. We have come so far in 75 years, but the promise of years ahead is just as compelling. I believe the best days for Israel and an unbreakable bond are ahead of us. My greatest hope is that our special relationship can serve as a foundation for greater peace across the Middle East. The progress towards peace in the past few years have simply been remarkable. Thanks to the Abraham Accords, coexistence and cooperation are beginning to replace conflict and intolerance. As a result, a future where your children can enjoy a just and lasting peace is not only foreseeable, it is attainable. Congress has supported the dramatic breakthroughs of the Abraham Accords. Last week, we passed a bipartisan resolution celebrating the 75th anniversary of commending the Abraham Accords as well. I actually have that resolution with me right here and signed. Now, it states in absolute terms that the U.S. stands with Israel, supports the Abraham Accords, and upholds that Israel has the right to defend itself. My friends, Congress stands ready to work with Israel to broaden and deepen those accords, working for sustainable peace with all of Israel's neighbors. But as we welcome peace, we cannot ignore the threats to peace in our region. Those threats have one primary cause: the rogue Iranian regime. Most of the turmoil in this region of violence and instability can be traced back to that source, which continues to fund terrorism, arms its proxy militias, and pursues nuclear weapons. Iran seeks to destabilize Iraq. It wants to entrench missiles in Syria. It empowers the terrorist organization Hezbollah in Lebanon, and it is fueling a brutal civil war in Yemen. And among all this aggression, it seeks to encircle Israel with hostile forces. We cannot allow Iran regime evil campaign to succeed. To deter Iran's dangerous behavior, our nations must continue to stand together. We, the United States, integrated Israel into our central command and are continuing to carry out military exercises together. As long as I am Speaker, America will continue to support fully funding for security assistance in Israel. Together, we will defeat Iran's precision-guided missiles, their drones, their terror tunnels, and cyber attacks. As we stand shoulder to shoulder against Iran's regional aggression, we must always remain resolute in our commitment that Iran will never acquire a nuclear weapon. As we pursue peace in this region, we must also expand the economic cooperation between our two countries. In our systems of innovation and creativity are our greatest allies, our greatest sources of strength, our greatest fuel for prosperity. For decades, our nations have worked together on agricultural research, clean energy, new technology, cyber defense, and so much more. To strengthen our command of the next generation of technology, Congress established a working group for bilateral military research and development in 2021. This will allow us to benefit from each other's innovation, especially in military technology. We've seen successes of technological cooperation in so many areas. Today, however, our innovation is at risk from a new threat: the Chinese Communist Party. While the CCP may disguise itself as promoters of innovation, in truth, they act like thieves. We must not allow them to steal our technology. In the United States, we are working to protect innovation and the prosperity with which it renews focus. You know, we have a review process called the Committee of Foreign Investment in the United States, or as we refer to as a CFIUS. I want to thank you, and I'm glad that Israel has put into place a process to review foreign investments. I strongly encourage Israel to further strengthen its oversight of foreign investment, particularly Chinese investment, building on the steps that you first took in 2019. If we cooperate, then I'm confident we will meet the challenge and ensure a brighter future for both of our nations. The final priority for the future I want to discuss is ending efforts to delegitimize and discriminate against Israel. Whether it's the toxic boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, or the constant attacks of Israel at the United Nations, prejudice against Israel on the world stage is damaging and destructive. There is no clearer example than the UN Rights Council, which has passed over 90 anti-Israeli resolutions since 2006. Yet they have turned a blind eye to true human rights violations by Iran, North Korea, and China. My colleagues and I in Congress will continue to stand with Israel, and we will increase the pressure on the United Nations to end these outrageous attacks. As we take the next steps in enhancing and bolstering our ongoing diplomatic and security dialogues, I want Congress and the Knesset to work close as possible together. As Speaker, I will continue to push for a formal interparliamentarian group between the United States and Israel. But I do not want to wait to start that collaboration between the House of Representatives and you, the Knesset. Therefore, today, I will establish a House-Knesset parliamentary friendship group. so we can continue the strength of our bonds and build mutual understanding as elected representatives and work better together, democracy to democracy. We will engage more directly with the Knesset, travel to Israel to strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones. Similarly, we will host Knesset members who wish to travel to the United States to do the same in Congress. This will be part of a new chapter of U.S.-Israel relations, and I look forward to working closer with your Speaker, Ohana, in this endeavor. Now let me close with this. The rebirth of Israel is truly a miracle. Peace, liberty, and prosperity are the foundations of our nation's success. They are also the cornerstone of our special relationship. Our special relationship stands for freedom. It stands for safety. It stands for hope. Together, let us work to move forward towards a brighter future. Together, we will work to build a world in which our children live in more peace, enjoy more robust economic ties, and are treated with the respect and fairness they deserve. This is our shared mission. I look forward to working with you as we strengthen this unique and indispensable bond. God bless you. God bless Israel. God bless America. And God bless our special relationship for the next 75 years. Thank you.
חברות וחברי הכנסת, אני מודה ליושב-ראש בית הנבחרים, מודה מאוד ליושב-ראש בית הנבחרים של ארצות הברית, מר קווין מקארתי, על דבריו. אני מודה לכם, חברות וחברי הכנסת, על שהאזנתם בסבלנות ובסובלנות לכל הדברים.